I have those sayings, and I don't know, wrote it in my head, like I had Fats Domino and Sam Cooke and all the rest of the radio and tapes that we be playing on trips to Evergreen, Alabama, Marion, Alabama, Selma, Dallas, and even we drove all the way out to Los Angeles. I think it took us 2 weeks. Like one of those Chevy Chase vacations. So thank you for that tribute, and you ensure that I won't forget what you said all these years. More importantly, I thank you for your support and your living example as a man and as a father. That's very special. It's been said that behind every successful child is an astonished parent. Hopefully some of the astonishment has worn off a little bit. To all my family, friends, supporters, new colleagues, those who are here and those who weren't able to come, thank you. Thank you, those that were able to be here, but I appreciate those who are also here in spirit. Appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be a part of this today. I want to thank Judge McKinney and his family for their many contributions to this community. And I want to thank him for his service, for his leadership, and also for his help during this transition. It's been very helpful. Booker T. Washington once said, "Few things help an individual more than to place responsibility upon him and to let him know that you trust him." I stand here today humbled by the trust you put in me and honored that you find me up to the task. I could not, in the few minutes that Judge Price gave me, very brief, mention all of the names and the many people who have supported me throughout my life and who have been so integral to my personal and professional accomplishments. I see many of those faces in this room today. Each of you whom I appreciate should know that today I'm overflowing with gratitude for all you've done to help me. However, there are some who I must acknowledge, especially if I want to get to sleep tonight, with both eyes closed. First is my wife, Tamika, for all of her support and patience through this campaign, and even before that. Then there's Kyla, big sister extraordinaire. Klein, who I think is the most valuable player in the campaign and newfound TV star. Got some hopes that I probably would have gotten otherwise. And the youngest, Karsten, who's just happy to go anywhere Klein will let him follow. So I appreciate all their patience with me throughout this process. I also want to recognize my siblings, my sister Irva, who's the smartest of all of us, and she's so smart that she's not anywhere near politics. And my brother Joe. Thanks for swearing me in. Thanks for being a good older brother, and I do mean older. Most people knew that I'd get married before Joe, but I don't know if anybody thought that I'd be a judge before Joe. I'll take that, but again, I want to thank him for everything that he's done. Now, contrary to popular belief, and as told in Greek mythology, I did not sprout from the forehead of my father, as was the case with Zeus and his offspring. That's an ode to my dad, who made us take 3 years of Latin, which I've never used since I left Jeff Davis Hospital. So while most people recognize and know who my father is and often transpose many of those traits and characteristics based on gender, I must thank my mother. She probably doesn't get as much credit for doing those things that mothers do. Kids call her Mimi, and she not only carried me around for 9 months, but she carried me around most of the time until I could drive. I guess that's why she was so happy when I got my driver's license. She's taught me so much and has given to my family so much in a way that grandmothers do. and even more so throughout this campaign. She's been such an integral part to what we were able to do throughout this process. So, Mom, today I honor you for your sacrifice and for your encouragement. Now, Judge Price, I get over my speech. Judge Price knows I went to Morehouse, and they always say you can tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. His son was a proud alum of Morehouse, so he knows what I'm going here. James Baldwin once said many years ago, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. I chose to move back to Montgomery and ultimately seek public office because I find endless challenge in changing conditions as opposed to just accepting them. That's what I grew up around. That's how I was taught to be. Today, those conditions that we face are real. They are serious, and they are many. They will not be conquered in a short amount of time, but they can be conquered. However, we cannot let outside cynicism undermine our dreams and limit our ability to see distant promise amidst obvious problems. The words of the scripture, the time has come to set aside childish things. The time has come to let those that are cynics know the ground has shifted beneath them. Their methods are outdated and one-dimensional arguments that have overtaken us for so long no longer apply. Superficial statements based on false choices don't carry weight anymore. Their purpose has passed. I did not run to obtain power or position, but rather because I felt a passion and had a purpose. We've been called to lead differently, operate differently, implement differently. And different is what we'll do. We will assess whether the probate office works as well as it can. Where the answer is yes, we'll seek ways to improve it. Where the answer is no, we will overhaul it. We will work with the county commission to produce well-managed budgets. You'll see outstanding service and operational efficiency. We will improve the technological interface of this office through social media and internet effectiveness. We will increase community outreach all over this county through meetings and seminars, such as Wilderness State seminars. We won't forget about the rural communities in this county because we want everyone to have a voice. We look forward to discussing the issues pertinent to the people of this county, such as whether polling places should return to public facilities where possible, how to increase funding for public education, and how to add value and insight to current and future economic development issues that will shape this county for years to come. We want to partner with our congressional delegation, state legislators, sheriff, county commission, mayor, city council, school board, faith leaders, nonprofit leaders, community leaders, and anyone else who seeks to add value to things they may be doing now and may consider doing in the future. We want to position this county for success. Not just short-term success, but long-term success. The probate court conducts hundreds of mental health hearings each year. We plan to actively involve ourselves in assisting healthcare stakeholders and advocating on behalf of mental health reform. See, we know that mental health is not a political football only we punt it when we are bold enough to come up with a great play call. But rather, it's an everyday condition that many people deal with without any choice in the matter. It's one that I have a personal stake in because it has impacted family members of mine. Therefore, we must stop the constant merry-go-round of excuse-making and reactionary politics that allows for topics like this to only be broached after senseless tragedies that claim the lives of innocent school children and innocent adults. The late U.S. Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall once said, in recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. When do we begin that? We begin now. 50 years after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote his letter from a Birmingham jail, things are very different and much better. As he sat in that jail, he could never have imagined there would be a probate judge in Montgomery County who shared his alma mater, Morehouse College. We can wonder how things may have been different had that been the case. But we have no way of knowing. What we do know is that we can impact today and tomorrow. Yesterday is gone, never to be seen again. So today I stand here because many people made sacrifices so that I could have the opportunity to represent them. So that I could represent them and countless others. I stand here not because I was the smartest person ever capable of running for probate office. As a member of the Joshua generation, I stand here because members of the Moses generation made sacrifices. I stand on the shoulders of those giants who saw the day before we were able to. It was their courage and willingness to fight for the opportunity for all to serve this country and for all to serve, period, that I stand here. Because of their courage, men, women, and children of every race, gender, creed, religion, socioeconomic status can celebrate this August day. Because of the willingness of the Moses generation and their ability to see, a man whose parents had to fight for the right to vote now counts those very same votes. And together we must be courageous in addressing and attempting to solve the issues facing this county, just like many before us have. In some ways, we must be even more courageous. We must be even more bold. The times demand that, and the people expect that. This day marks how far the state of Alabama and the county of Montgomery have come, but there's still more work to be done. Today we start off to see how far we can go together, and today, together, we'll go very far. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.